Welcome to part 21 of Vegas Pro Essentials. The last step in any video production is rendering and exporting. There are quite a lot of settings and customizations to choose from, but Vegas Pro comes with plenty of options to make this an easy experience. Starting with the timeline, you can choose to render out the whole edit or a portion of the timeline. For the entire timeline, you don't need to do anything. To output a part of the timeline, move the timeline cursor to the first frame of the export and drag a region above the ruler to create a selection. To render and export the timeline, click the Render button in the main toolbar. Just finishing what I mentioned earlier, to export the selected region of the timeline, ensure that Render Loop Region Only is enabled. To render the whole timeline, turn this option off. The render settings have been broken down into various scenarios to help you make an easy choice. You have use cases, video-specific, image sequences, and audio-specific settings. The use cases help you pick settings that are appropriate for your destination. Selecting YouTube, for instance, will choose recommended settings based on your timeline, and this is displayed at the bottom of the window. To output the timeline, you choose a destination, give the file a name, and click Render. It's that easy. To take a broader look at the different render settings, you have a few options. You can click the search box, and all the available settings will be displayed. You can narrow the choice down by adding a keyword to refine the list. You can also enable filtering to limit the choices by specific properties. So if you know what you want, it's easy to look for that setting. Another helper for making an informed choice is the equal symbol. This means that these specific settings match your timeline. This will prevent you from making a mistake and exporting with the wrong resolution, etc. With one of these settings selected, all the information for the settings looks correct. But selecting a setting that is different from the timeline resolution will be flagged with red text. These are just visual indications and won't stop you from using these settings for export. Returning to the use case settings, if you expand the section and choose YouTube, you will see all the available settings for export, but the ones with equal symbols will be suggested. In case you're wondering, you might see duplicate settings in the list. These settings are the same, but the ones with extra codes in the brackets offer GPU acceleration depending on the graphics card in your computer. The regular settings use your CPU. You can click through the rest of the use cases, and you'll see they are set differently for their specific purpose. Of course, you can go through the video and audio settings if you're looking for a particular file format, etc. But the choice is entirely yours. Let's go back to the use cases and choose YouTube again. Like I said earlier, you can simply choose a setting and render out the timeline. For those of you who are more tech-savvy, you can also customize the current settings. This window gives you access to all the video, audio, system, and project settings for the export. The first setting I'd like to highlight is in the Project tab. Here you find the video rendering settings. By default, it's set to use your project settings. If you're using anything other than the best for the video rendering, set this option to best. Switching back to the Video tab, you can customize various settings of the video if you have a specific need. This includes resolution, frame rate, and the bit rate of the encoder. Please only change these settings if you know what you need. If you have customized a setting and you intend to reuse it regularly, you can save this as a preset template. You need to change the preset name and optionally edit the description, followed by clicking the Save button to create a new template. If you're happy with all the settings, click OK to exit the Customize window. With your render settings chosen, choose a destination for your export if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to name the exported file. Click Render to export the timeline. The render begins, and the only option I'd like to highlight is that you can turn the video on and off in the video preview if you wish to monitor the render. There are other options in the render window, but they are self-explanatory. As a final step, I'll call up Windows Explorer and play the rendered file. So there you have it. That's the Vegas Pro Essentials, from creating a project all the way through to exporting the final timeline. But before I go, there are a few unique features in Vegas Pro I'd like to cover and possibly remind you how to use them. See you soon.